Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the cards for April the 10th, 2017. I always get the dates mixed up. I'm terrible. Right, I hope you all had a lovely weekend. The sun's been shining. It's been pretty glorious. There's a big shift coming as well. From tomorrow, I think. I'm going to talk more about the Libra moon tomorrow, I think, rather than today. But just before I start this reading, quite a strange reading today, I think. I don't know. I'm looking at the cards here and it's like, right, okay, where we're going to go with this. But just to let you know, I am from Thursday of this week. I did get the dates wrong. I'm so sorry. From Thursday of this week, I am taking 10 days holiday. So I won't be available for readings. I won't be answering emails or anything during that time. So if anybody would like a reading with me, I do still have a bit availability this week. So please get in quick. The places, I've woke up this morning and there's emails there. So, I've got to sort them bookings out later. But if you do want a reading with me, please get in touch sooner rather than later. And when I come back on the 24th, I think, the readings are going to go up slightly as well as from then. They were supposed to go up on the 4th, but I've kept them at the old prices. So if you want a reading at the old price, get in soon this week, please. Okay, so right, we go back to the cards. Now I'm using the Tarot Apocalypsis again this week. I love these cards and I've neglected them a little bit, I think. So the card that we have for today is the Prince of Cups. Now I love the Prince of Cups. The Prince of Cups is such a lovely card. It's got a real childlike feel. It's got a freedom with it. The Prince of Cups, his head's in the clouds, his feet are on the ground, but this is where when the Page of Cups comes in, it's sort of like, I don't think any ego is around the Page of Cups. He doesn't. He sees the world through rose-tinted eyes. So, there's no manipulation, there's no restriction, they've just said there, right? Okay, so there's no restriction around him. He's just like, if you feel young again around the Page of Cups. I think that's what's coming through there. Now, in this card, it's depicted by Eros. And obviously it's the Tarot Apocalypsis. They go way, way deeper, than just the layman's terms. And what this is talking about like your soul's desire. The Prince of Cups, he craves connection. It's not, nothing is really superficial with him. He's deep as the ocean, and this is what I love. I relate very well to the Prince of Cups here, I think. Now, some used to call Eros the Lord of Chaos, and they said that he was mischievous and that he was cruel. And within the book, what it says about this is, the truth is that only when you rail against love does it hold terror. If you live your life as a lover, longing for beauty, desirous of the light in another's soul, then you shall not be hurt. So this is talking about, like I say, the Page of Cups, he believes. This is what he's like a Peter Pan of tarot. And he believes and he knows that love can transform the soul. But as I mentioned before, there's no ego around the Prince of Cups. But when the ego comes in, this is when people say, oh, the Lord of Chaos, it's cruelty, there's hurt. But what this card is saying is that, only when you go against the grain of love does the hurt come in. When you actually go with love, when you live your life as the lover, seeing the beauty, looking for the beauty, not looking at the problems or anything like that, this is when your soul can be transformed, because love is the greatest emotion that we all have. And the Prince of Cups, he's fluid, he's watery, he's emotional, he's psychic as well. So some of you may have been picking up on, some of you may have been getting psychic messages and things like that, this is all, it dreams. Look at your dreams, because I had a really weird dream the other night. I woke up and I was like, that was so weird. I haven't actually sussed what it was about yet, but it was It was very, very strange. But this is it. So your dreams, this is about tapping into your unconscious, but also into your feels as well, into your feeling, because the Page of Cups, he feels, and he feels deeply. When he is hurt, he hurts deeply. When he feels deeply, and he has this like poetic view on life. He's very creative, usually like musicians, poets, artists, stuff like that. This is the Page of Cups. Now a lot of times this can talk about messages, and I'm going to say that in a minute because they want me to elaborate more on the Page of Cups here. So what they're saying here is when this card is coming in, it's like the Page of Cups, he is seeking romance. He knows he needs this to nourish his soul. And he is offering his cup freely as well. I mean, if we have a look, it's such a beautiful card, this. I mean, we've got these red roses, which, they stand for love, they stand for passion. We have these butterflies, so this is freedom. We have this cup, which is huge and filled, and, he's offering it. And he's ready there with his bow and arrow, and he is ready to sort of, shoot his bow and arrow into the heart that he wants. Now, what I like about this is the fact that there is a butterfly on that bow and arrow. So for some reason, it's like if your heart gets shot by the Page of Cups, this will bring a freedom into your life. It will bring more colour into your life. It will open up things as well, Now, sometimes with the Page of Cups, he hasn't really got his emotions in check all of the time, because he just acts on instinct, But I think that's the best way to be. I had a beautiful day yesterday, and I was out and I was talking to a friend, and they said that, and they went, the second I think about what I'm thinking, then everything just like, it just stops being as nice. And I was like, yeah, that's it, because when you get the thinks, instead of the feels, this is when, you do detours, and, and that is when this nice loveliness of the Page of Cups disappears. But the Page of Cups, he adapts to new like situations like quite easily, like I say, he's very fluid. He just flows. And what they're saying here is with this card coming in, right? With this card coming in, they're saying that he is often catalyst for change. So when the Prince of Cups like breezes in, he forces required change in some way, So I want to say here, expect the unexpected. This is what I'm getting here, It's like I have a real feeling here that anything could happen this week. I really, really do. This is this is actually really, really funny, Now, when I'm saying anything could happen, it could be, you could get an offer out of the blue. You could suddenly make this decision on your intuition and act on it, You could have an ex-lover return, because this is often, it is talking about love returned. This is what they're saying, love returned. But I don't know if that is in the way of you're loving somebody and they're loving you back. I don't know. Or I don't know if it's love is returning. So that may fit for some of you, but this is what it's saying. And it's saying like this, there's an experience now. You've experienced something, and now there's an illumination coming with it. So it's like the light has gone on in some way. And again, this is talking about connection. There's this deep, deep connection coming when the Page of Cups comes, and the Page of Cups is like he's pushing for the evolution of your soul. This is what he's doing. So he's strong. This is what I'm getting. This Page of Cups. Often we see the Page of Cups as like sort of a young boy, bit feminine, sort of in his outlook, the way he is described in a lot of the tarot decks. But in this one, I'm just looking at his shoulders there, and it's look at that. You know what I mean? he's strong, and it's like he's balancing here. It's sort of like he's centered. This is what I'm getting here. He is centered, this Page of Cups. And like I say, you know, he is expect messages coming out of the blue, you know, they expect phone calls, even expect a knock on the door, you know. This is madness, you know, what I'm actually feeling with this. And I really like the feeling with it, okay? And that what this card is saying today is take a chance, right? When you take a chance, you will see how quickly your dreams will manifest, okay? So that's the message that the Prince of Cups is bringing in with it. And why? You're right, he's got wrist splints on here, and I'm trying to ask why. I mean, I do feel there's divine guidance with this, you know. We've got these huge angel wings, you know. So like I say, there's a blessing in this somewhere, but it's I'm looking at this and I'm sort of getting like waves crashing. I'm getting sort of like surf, ride the wave, right? That's it, ride the wave. I was actually at the beach yesterday, you know, and it was cold, but it was lovely. But then it's like I'm seeing like this waterfall of emotions, right? So I feel this is the card for the start of the week. It's going to be an emotional one. We have, like I say, we have the Mercury retrograde. We have the Libra full moon tomorrow. So, you know, this is all about balance as well. But I feel there's, you know, if any of you are affected by the moon, I'm massively affected by the moon, like unbelievably. Be prepared that a lot of emotions could be coming up. But if you, right, okay, what are they saying here? Right, if you go with your gut, okay, if you go with your intuition, like I say, this is the Page of Cups. This is why I think he's coming in. The Page of Cups follows his heart. He follows his intuition. He doesn't follow his head. He doesn't think of the logic, and he doesn't allow the logic in. If you do this, I feel you will be fine. So we've got a funny month this month, and what I feel is, I said a couple of weeks ago, didn't I, that this month I feel it's going to be whatever you put into this month. So if you go into this month and if there's drama there and stuff like that, then, you know, you will probably get that back. If you go into this with an open heart, if you go into this surrendering, and if you go in expecting the unexpected, you know, and knowing that whatever comes is for you, then I feel you will be able to ride this wave, right? That's where they're going with it. You will be able to ride this wave with ease, okay? So this is get into your feels and like turn this ego off. Because the reason I'm saying that is the cards that are coming after it. Now, I hate this card. Honestly, out of all of I don't even like to use the word hate, but this card just, I pick it up and it's like, I really, really tense up, you know. This is out of the Osho Zen Tarot card, and this is called Morality. Now, this is the Queen of Clouds, which is significant to the Queen of Swords within traditional tarot. And if we look at this card, I just get a coldness, you know. I mean, if we look at those two cards together, can you see the difference in the feeling? You look at how everything's growing and lovely and light, and this is just woof. It's like with this, it's sort of, you know, when you hear like in the old jail cells and you hear the door like jam shut, you know, and it's like that's it, you're locked in. And this is what I feel like, okay, that's it. This is what they're saying here, you know, this coldness in the card is prison-like, right? Okay, so that's why they give me the prison there. So this is like, it's sort of, you know, she's sitting there, you know, she's stern, she's taking up the full image, you know. I always say, and you'll have heard me say this before, that I feel that this is like a nuclear bomb behind her, you know, and this causes, like, you know, it causes immediate devastation and destruction, but this carries on and carries on as well, you know, there's after effects of this. And what has happened here is morality has, like, restricted the flow of life, you know, all of these juices, all of this passion and everything that is there with the Page of Cups. the page of cups, right? Okay, is, you know, this is now confined because the narrows of her mind have actually cut all of this off and boxed it off. So this is, like I say, I really don't like this card. So there's no heart here, you know, there's just a cage. If we have a look, there's no eyes. So where are the windows to a soul? Because that's what they are. If you look at anybody, you look into their eyes and you know whether they're telling the truth, whether they're lying, whether what they're thinking or whatever. You know, eye gazing is an amazing experiment to do. You know, her mouth is pensive there. So this has probably said some not nice words. You know, you can always see people when they're tight-lipped, and these are usually the people that speak venom, you know. Her hands are clasped here, you know, and there's a fear around, but there's also a control. So I feel that it's a very egoic card. We're going from the most open love card that you can get to the most closed card here. So this is, again, you know, this is all egoic, and there's no flow, there's no life here. There's judgment, you know, and there's bitterness as well, you know. This is what's coming through with this. So it's like whether these judgments have been applied to you by others, or whether you are applying them to others, or whether you are applying them to yourself. You know, what you are doing, whenever judgment comes in that way, you are taking away the chance of experiencing beauty and serenity, you know, which you will get, and love, which you will get with the Page of Cups, you know. So this card is talking about, like, we are conditioned. Oh, this is right, that is wrong. You know, we're told that we're a good person or a bad person based on our actions, you know. There's so many people that quick to point a finger, I think. And what happens is this keeps us locked in this cage. So this is saying when we break through this conditioning, right, when we reach the truth of our own hearts, like the Page of Cups has, you know, his heart will always, always guide him. It doesn't matter how many times he gets hurt, he messes up or whatever, he's still going to be this Page of Cups, you know. This one, there is no heart there. So how can they use their heart? They're using this coldness, you know. But when you open your heart, this is when you can see how life really is as well, you know. And there's a lot of people can see a negative in a lot of things. And this is because they constantly judge, or they constantly want control. And it keeps them locked rigid, but it also keeps people around them, you know. And they have this polarized view of how life should be, you know. It's black and white and that's it. And they show contempt, you know, and they put cages around anybody who sees this differently, you know, and they try and keep people confined in. And what this does is it also confines them as well, where there's other people who will see the good in everything, you know, and they see that every bad situation has a silver lining somewhere, and it's looking for that. And this is usually the people that are free from judgment, you know. They're free from judgment of themselves, they're free from judgment of others, you know. And this is when they have this fluidity, this is when they have this positivity, and the world, their world is full of color. So look, it's like if you're working with the this card, look at that. If you're working from your ego, that is the life you will get. If you're working from your soul, that is the life you would get. It's like bit of a hard choice there. So what it's saying here is, like, you know, I mean, when Dyer said, when you judge another, they define themselves and not you. You know, so they're defining themselves by judging. And like I say, people do it, you know. And it's like when we start to become enlightened, you know, this morality, this judgment of others drops away, because we realize, you know, what we do is we practice kindness, we practice compassion, you know, and that frees ourselves, but it allows other people that are around us to be free as well. If we are constantly putting rules down all the time, then people are going to break them rules, you know. So this is about, you know, when you are enlightened, you are free in yourself, so you allow others the same. Now, right, okay, sorry, it's this card, isn't it? So yeah, so this is what Osho says about this, is that we need to get this from the root, you know, cut it out at the root. He says, you know, Bodhidharma far transcends moralists, Puritans, so-called good people, do-gooders. He has touched the very rock bottom of the problem. Unless awareness arises in you, all your morality is bogus. All your culture is simply a thin layer which can be destroyed by anybody. But once your morality has come out of your awareness, not out of a certain discipline, then it's a totally different matter. Then you will respond in every situation out of your awareness, and whatever you do will be good. Awareness cannot do anything that's bad. That's the ultimate beauty of awareness, that anything that comes out of it is simply beautiful. It's simply right, without effort and without any practice. So rather than cutting the leaves and the branches, cut to the root, cut out the root. There's no other method than a single method, the method of being alert, of being aware, of being conscious. So when you are aware, this is when you're coming from a love base. You know, when you are coming from a love base, there is never any right and wrong. You know, life isn't black and white when you're coming from there. You know, it's when you come from a love base, you are aware of what is going on. You are aware of another person's feelings. You know, you are aware of what your heart is guiding you to and what your soul is guiding you to as well. When you shut everything off and you become closed like this, you have no awareness. You only have judgment, you know, and that is not a good place to be. So, right, so it's really strange reading. Can you see how I'm saying it was strange here? Because we've got the basis of it, which is this Page of Cups. But then we have a lot of ego around it. Because the Colette Baron Reid card that we have is in the protection position. And this is called co-create. But like I say, the protection is when it's reversed. And this is avoidance. This is feeling overwhelmed with stuff, you know. It's saying it's not creating, not working together. You know, the ego keeps us separate. The soul, the heart actually keeps us together, you know. So when the ego is present, it separates us from the whole. And what this card is saying is that we need to co-create. We need to work with somebody else, you know. We need to work with spirit. We cannot just do everything by ourselves. It doesn't work. If we do, we become like that, you know, or we become controlling of others around us. So what this card is saying, ask spirit for inspiration, ask for a message, you know. This is what the Page of Cups is bringing in. Two work better than one in here, and even if that is just you working with spirit. So you need to reclaim your partnership here, you know. And again, right, they're bringing in here, this might be reclaim your partnership with somebody from the past, because this, I mentioned that before. Or you reclaim it with spirit. If you haven't been listening to spirit and you haven't been communicating, this is a time to do it as well. Inspiration will come and your answers will come when you get out of your own way. Sorry, I was going to swear then. This is what they're coming in really heavy here. When you get out of your own way, this is when you will clear the way. Okay? So it's you that's standing in the way. You can say that it's this block, that block, whatever, you know. But the only thing is, what is standing in the way is you being either in this space or in that space. So that is what is coming through with the cards. Now I have a nice little surprise for you all. I bought a new deck yesterday. I don't like to use oracle cards that much. I mean, I do use them too, but other ones just all seem a little bit wishy-washy for me. But I seen these yesterday and I was like, wow, really drawn to them. And I bought them and we were all sitting having food. And I was like, right, okay, we'll do an intention. We'll try them. And every single card was so fitting for the person that picked it. So, you know, I've tested them out a few times and they really, really do. They're very, very accurate, I feel. So look at that. What beautiful image. And this card is called Intention. Now, what this says is, do not lose sight of your original intention. Check inside your heart to see if the path you are traveling fits with your original hopes and aspirations. If not, take action, take control, and steer your life back on course. So that works with this. Now, when I looked at this card, the first thing I got was healing. There is some healing around here. We have this lady here. She's all in blue, but look at this heart, you know. It looks like there's been tears there. But I feel, right, okay, if we have a look at this pink actually is the exact colour of rose quartz in this card. And I feel that by, they're saying here, love will heal. That's it, you know, by surrounding yourself with love that is there for you, this is when you will be able to heal and these tears will stop, you know. This is when your light will shine again. Um, and I also feel here, there's, if we have a look, her throat chakra is wide open. So this, I feel, is, you know, there's healing coming through love and through communication. So yeah, so if you're not on the road that you set out to go on, you know, and you're not on the road that your heart is guiding you to, then maybe it's time to take a detour here. But I really love the imagery with those cards. So it's like, set your intention and stick to it. So I hope they made sense to you. I like them. I think it's there. I think it's pretty clear. It's you know, they're yeah, it's ego is getting in the way. That's, I'm asking, what's that? It's ego getting in the way, right? Okay, so ego and you getting in your own way. So this is it. It's just clear the way, I think. So I hope you have an absolutely fabulous day. As I've said, if anybody wants a reading with me, please get in touch. They are limited, you know, and like I say, the prices go up when I come back. So please get in touch. Pretty sharpish. A little bit availability this week, so we can get you squeezed in. And just like I say, expect the unexpected. You know, there's it's going to be a funny old week. That's what they've just said there. A funny old week. So we'll see where it leads us. So have a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow with the cards of today. Sat now.